All right, well, a little bit of a late start here. Hero started the race a little bit earlier than we were expecting, but the green flag is underway here at Auto Club for the Stanley Racing Unlimited Series Season 7. Did Bot actually leave? Oh my god, he did. Well, it's Saturn up at the front of the field right now. Arnioto on the inside of him. And side by side up at the front of this field, that's Top behind Arnioto. And they continue to stay side by side. Coming into turn number 1, Top looking to make it 3 wide to the inside. And now he's going to shove that number 48. Back up the racetrack goes to number 17. And Saturn, your Daytona 500 winner, leads the field coming into turn 3. Arnioto last weekend had an absolute heartbreaker of a showing. Almost won the Great American Race, had it there at the end, and then just a huge crash piled up, and because of that, Arnioto, even though he was the dominant car at the end of that thing, could not come away with the victory. Out of turn 4 they go, and, you know, we were going to go over a couple things about, you know, the race, and now that it's a little bit more tame, but you still see throughout the field, I mean, there's guys side by side everywhere here, it feels like. See top of the hour, one of the best cars at Daytona, trying to find his way around Juan. He'll get back to the inside. Ron side by side with Ancient behind him. And now they almost go 4 wide, 3 wide right there, as you saw it. But as we were talking about, let's get to the race info. We'll try to make it a little bit quick. Race info, 125 laps around this track. The tire window, about 50 laps, and same with the fuel window, also about 50 laps, if I am correct. And then track layout, you see it right here. Auto Club, just a standard oval, though you're going to have to brake here. It's not like Daytona where you can go full throttle. So that is your race info. Top kind of falling off the pace right now. Ancient right behind Ron. It's now Ron going up to the top of the track, trying to see if he can maybe find some room to come down to the bottom. But the battle up front heating up. You have Saturn trying to find a way to get to Arnioto. Yeah, Saturn ran a little bit of a lower line right there. Arnioto may have made a mistake coming down the front straightaway. Arnioto, this race is going to be cut tight for him. He might have to leave late in the showing, and so because of that, he may lose some valuable points. Although Saturn, right behind him, applying some pressure. Let's see if Arnioto may try to budge. As you see back here, I mean, everyone's starting to fall behind a little bit. That's Ron in third. And Juan makes the move to the bottom, gets around him. And they're slowly losing time because of this midfield battle. So now about single file throughout the field here. And there goes Arnioto. Wall fling, probably going to bring out the first caution of the day, and it does. Unfortunate for that. Number 48 was running up at the front of this field. Wouldn't be surprised if Hero allows him to get his laps back. But back up to the front, Saturn going to lead the way for the cars behind. as a little bit of contact there. NPC sliding. He might have had contact with Tubop. But anyways, you look at the front of this field. Saturn is leading. Won the Daytona 500 actually not last weekend, 2 weekends ago. And because of that, he is leading the standings. Now you see everybody coming to pit road. We're talking about it 2 weekends ago about how important tires are going to be at this track. Auto Club's one of those tracks with a worn out surface. Tires are going to be detrimental, but you see it right here. 4 tire sets. So it's going to be really important about how these drivers manage their tires, because now you have tire sets this weekend. So, and I bet some of these guys don't really know that. So up at the front of this field, that is Ancient Rain. 10 laps led at Daytona. Currently tied for 8th in points with Wedge. And Ancient ended up finishing 9th that race. And Hero gives the command to go green this time. So far the field, it is Ancient, Tubopt, and then not sure who that is in third. Still learning some of the names here. And that would be Ward. All right, well, here we go. See right here, Ancient gonna lead him to the green flag, and let's go. Green flag is out. Back to California Racing. You see Arniotto getting aggressive on that restart right there. Swinging it down to the bottom, sliding up the racetrack is Ward. And it is a hornet's nest behind the leader. You see Juan dive it down to the inside. 3 wide coming into turn number 3. Tubopt on the outside. Trying to see if we can find any sort of grip on that outside lane, but it's just not going to work. There's not a lot of grip up there. Ward going to keep handling it. 3 wide as once again a little bit of contact right there. More contact behind the leaders. Top going to go 3 wide. Arniotto on the apron. Slides back up the racetrack, gets into the 17. Is now Buck looking to the inside of that number 48. Hero giving a slight warning to everybody behind him. Don't run that apron as more contact behind. Buck gets hit by Arniotto. He's falling behind now. Saturn making the charge through the field. He's on fresher tires than everybody else. I mean, you just see it through the field. It is chaos throughout here. Arniotto being used up a little bit by Nova. Nova will make the pass. And Saturn, keep an eye on him. He was out front early on. He now has fresh tires. Juan leads the field. Not the greatest showing from him at Daytona. Only 3 laps led, tied for 6th in points right now. You know, after one race, you know, you're still starting the season. And so just because he had one bad race doesn't mean he'll have another. Also like to point out Top as well had a great showing at Daytona. We thought only 9 laps led on the day, got beat out by Saturn, Ancient, Arnioto, who led the most laps. He led 31 laps at Daytona, and then Northern, who led 20. So the HSI cars had a great showing, but you look back for third, it is getting racy back there. Nova, Ancient side by side, the two Toyotas, as now Ron looks to enter that battle. He's going to get to the inside of Ancient. Side by side for third. Ron may be able to get clear of that number 11 down the back straightaway with help from Nova as he delivers the bump coming into turn 3. Nova looking to the inside now. 3 wide for third. Oh, a little bit of contact right there. You saw the smoke, and that right there is going to be what make or breaks your strategy today. Getting into that outside wall or getting into another car. You get into a car, you're going to lose tires. You get into the wall, you're going to lose tires. You lose about a lap every single time you see one of those smoke particles come out. So it's going to be really important to try to stay clean today. As we were talking about Saturn earlier, he finds himself moving through the field. He's now looking for third over Ron as he gets to the inside. Although the battle up at the front heating up now. You have Top side by side with Juan as they come into turn 1. Lap 20. Already this race is going by pretty quick. Oh, Juan delivering the bumper to that number 17. On to lap 21, that number 17 of Top continues to lead the field. Had a solid showing at Daytona. Juan now looking back to the inside. Two champions going at it. Juan was runner-up last year in Season 6. Top's won a championship before in Division 1. Let's see, Top trying to get a bite on the bottom of the track. Arnioto sliding behind the field. Through the grass he goes. Back up into traffic. And luckily, everyone's going to be able to avoid him. Boy, that could have been bad right there. The battle for third continues to be a thriller. Now you have NPC in the mix. But these top two have just ran away with it. Juan and Top pulling away from the field. Saturn's behind them. Although about a 1.5 second gap from the leaders. They continue to stay side by side down the back straightaway. This battle for the lead getting intense right now. They keep switching it off. Top kind of made a mistake right there. Got on the apron. That might allow Juan to get a little bit of a better run off than Top. But they'll stay side by side. And as testing went on, we realized that 3 and 4, that outside is not going to be as good as 1 and 2. And on older tires, 1 and 2 is probably going to be a little bit better with that outside line. But once again, they stay side by side. Top and Juan delivering a great battle here in Fontana, California. They just cannot get away from each other. And Saturn's looking at this out of his windshield. He's thinking, this is great. I love seeing these guys go side by side. They're not able to run their fastest line. But Top finally going to get clear of that number 75 after 2 straight laps of battling. But it's not over yet. Will Juan try to make a move, come into turn number 3? He looks to the outside, may try to cross him over, hoping Top goes up the track. But Top just going to coast it on through that corner, looking like ease right there. Oh, but here comes Juan. he tried to make a move to the inside, and it just didn't really work. Down the back straightaway they go. Juan right on the back bumper of that number 17, coming into turn number 3. And I think at this point in the race, you kind of got to settle down. Although if a mistake like that happens, just go ahead and take the lead. I mean, these guys are thinking, well, if they make a mistake in front of me, I want to make sure that I can pull away in case that maybe he's slower on older tires and I'm faster. That's what they're probably thinking right now. But in reality, that only happens about 10% of the time. You see Top getting aggressive. He's looking to the inside. We saw him get aggressive at Daytona as well. He's one of the more aggressive drivers we've seen so far this season. As a big mistake right there, going to cost him valuable time. Up into the wall he goes. Wow, you're finally here.
Sorry, I had to take my cat on a walk.
Uh-huh.
How's the race going?
You just missed like a top 10 battle of the year, probably, for the lead.
Why would you
Why would you start before we were ready?
All right, well, we're just going to mute the desktop audio for now while they figure that out. Saturn, right now, currently in third, diving it down into turn 3. He won the Daytona 500, currently first in points, being contested by that 0-2 car right behind him of Ron, in which Ron had a very interesting Daytona 500. Wasn't really up in the mix all that much and kind of lost the draft a couple times as well. Rough first showing for him, but he's had a solid showing so far here in California, starting that West Coast swing. Maybe could try to get some momentum going for that part-time ride. Juan still up at the front of this field. Top's just, slowly losing ground to that 75, and I think it was just that one mistake he made in turn 4 turn 3, where he got on the apron and then just lost all traction to that car. Just unfortunate for him. I did.
Oh, well, that'd be nice if you would say something about it, but you know what? It's okay. But we're 31 laps in, on out front. Wow. Cray. I thought Arniota would be further up.
Oh, he had contact.
Yeah, that makes sense. I would check out.
Yeah, Arniota had some contact go on earlier, got spun around, saved it though. Surprised he actually caught up to Ancient. Two Spotify drivers going at it right there, but this field's starting to get a little bit spread out right now.
Okay, look at Ron in 4th. What a good run for him. Juan out front. Yeah, they're all spaced out, which I'm kind of surprised. I really thought they'd be a lot closer, but I guess not. They're over the radio, Timmy talking. I know he's not in the race, but they're going really, really fast around here, almost upwards of 210. 210 miles an hour. It's crazy going into turn 1.
Yeah, you get that outside run, and on these older tires, it gets a little bit easier to carry that momentum compared to running that bottom line. You're not going to have as much grip. As now Saturn slowly starting to catch Top. We saw him take tires on that first caution that happened where Arniota hit that wall fling. Came into pit road, got 4 fresh tires, used one of his tire sets, and now he's gaining on Top. He kind of played the long game, was stuck in that battle for third for so long, and now he's finally catching the leaders. If he can get around Top and hopefully not battle him as long, he'd be able to catch the leader right here as this battle for second starting to heat up.
Yeah, I forgot tire sets are a thing. How many did they get?
4.
4 tire sets, and that's not that many, so I'm assuming that, Top and Juan, did they take tire sets? As Saturn's going to keep to that inside of Top.
I'm not sure if they pit.
Looks like Casey over the radio, he's going to come down pit road, and Saturn trying to use that side draft on that left rear quarter of Top. 17's going to run that middle, try to carry the momentum off corner exit, but Saturn with those fresh tires able to clear his way into the second position. He started on the pole. He's looking to get back to that first position, maybe chase down Juan, who currently sits about a second ahead of the number 29.
Side by side once again for second. Top was battling like crazy with Juan, and now he may be able to battle Saturn, but with those fresher tires, who knows? Maybe Saturn will pull away as they dive it down into turn number 1. Top, I think, slowly starting to increase that gap. We saw you know, maybe half a car length before and then went a car length a little bit more. So I don't know if Top's really going to have the speed to compare to Saturn. Well, Juan is your leader still, as Saturn trying to experiment a little bit. You saw him run a little bit lane higher as Top gets into the wall right there. Also like to keep an eye out on Casey, who came into pit road a little bit early. That number 16 car, it's going to be important to see where he comes out of pit road. You saw Arniotto come into pit road as well. We got some pitters here. Ancient came down. So who knows, maybe some of these guys up at the front will try to maybe play it risky. And I think the one issue with Saturn coming in early was that although he gained some track position, problem is that he's going to be on such a lower tires than everybody else. He may be filtered out. But depending how long this green flag run goes, I mean, Saturn could lose a bunch of time. But already he's starting to catch up to that number 75. If you're Juan, you got to start feeling the pressure at some point. Juan has a much higher entry, Saturn with a much lower entry right there. And, you know, you got to wonder, if you're Juan, do you want to try to pit a little bit early? Maybe hope that if you pit early, then you could run down Saturn a little bit and then hope that you could maybe last a little longer on older tires? Or do you try to just wait as long as possible? Problem is that those cars behind them have already pit, so they're going to be running him down a little bit. And Buck over the radio talking about his engine tape, so not sure if he took too low, not sure if he took too high, but he's saying that somehow it works. As Saturn, let's see if he can increase the gap. Yeah, he did, about a 10th this lap. So we'll see if Juan gives up the lead right here coming into turn number 1. Saturn looking to the inside. The two Fords about to go at it as they come down the back straightaway. Someone may have came into pit road. Look at this, Saturn going wide right there. Now, oh, I think someone might have hit a track fling. It may have been Tubopped, as he's slow on the apron. Don't know if he came in to pit, never said it in the chat, and then, yeah, complaining about the track. So Tubopp going to be allowed to merge. Hero will change his tires and fuel. But Saturn looking for the lead. Side by side right here between the two Fords. Two different teams right here, but two manufacturer teammates who will Juan try to get aggressive and make sure that Saturn doesn't pull away. Side by side, Juan kind of uses him up a little bit. Saturn into the outside wall. Unfortunate for that number 29. Juan came up the racetrack, gave Saturn limited room, and then Saturn got caught on the wall and almost went around. And he's going to have to make up all that ground he lost. No, he did not. So what happened was Juan came up the track. I think Saturn overreacted a little bit and then just got into the wall. Well, keeping the chat open, trying to see if anyone wants to come into pit road. We saw those early pitters with Arniotto, and I think those are the people who did not come into pit road on that first caution.
What honest?
Saturn got into the wall and lost the lead. Oh, well, caution came out. Buck
Casey
went around.
Is around. What?
Buck went around somehow.
And Casey. And Casey.
Yeah.
That's going to bring the yellow out, and then we're going to see pit stops coming up very shortly. Buck saying lag over the radio. Caution is out with 45 laps into this race. About a third, a little bit over a third of the way in. Wow, just as I came back. I guess I'm pretty unlucky then.
All right, well,
Wait, Mar DMs.
Juan was the leader.
DM's like, well, you can keep talking, but...
So, wondering if Juan may come into pit road right here. Oh yeah, they're just waiting on the backstretch for everyone to catch up. Juan had a bad showing last race, and now he's just shown his true speed this time. You know, may not be the super speedway driver, but currently tied for 6th in points, and 3 laps led, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 3 laps led at Daytona.
Yeah. Let's not forget, though, Juan also finished 2nd in points last year. Juan is no scrub. He is a great driver, one of the top talents of this league, and right now he's been putting on a clinic, at least in this later stretch.
So not sure why we're still waiting here.
I don't really know.
The red flag is not out.
They're all waiting on pit road. Who are the people who have taken sets of tires so far?
So you can probably look at it. Ancient pit, Ward pit, Arnioto pit, Tubot pit, Buck, Casey, and NPC
Who?
pit twice.
It's Ward. Ah, I see. That's the 18.
Oh,
Ward,
okay, so 4.5 is if you take 2 tires. So I think Ron, Top, Nova.
Wait, where can you see that value,
maybe.
Mar? Do you have the the thing open? Tab.
Unless it's messed up.
I see. I see. So, yeah, right
Ancient's
now,
doing the wave around.
I thought you got 5. I thought you got 5 sets of tires, or 4 sets of tires. You said.
I thought it was 4. I mean, I might be wrong. The chat looks or the player menu looks a little bit different.
Not too sure, but as it stands out, it looks like, you know, Ancient, as you said, Ward, Arnioto, Tubop, they've all taken tires, but surprisingly, it looks like Juan has taken less tires than most of the field, and he's up at the front, so that just shows the speed that the number 75 has brought today to Fontana for sure.
Yeah, he has been fast all day long. Kind of got clear on that early restart and just kind of pulled away. And Top and him went to battle, and Saturn came up through the field. So you just gotta wonder, will these guys at the front come into pit road? I think so. 46 laps on those tires. I mean, I think it would be in their best interest to come in.
100%. And I think they had the advantage of time, where they didn't really have to worry about the guys with fresh tires as much. But now that the field is bunched together, they don't have that time. They're going to get 8 up. They're going to sink like a rock. So I'm sure that Juan and, you know, Saturn, Top, they are going to definitely come down pit road this time. At least Juan and Top.
Well, let's see what that 75 decides to do. He will enter pit road.
Juan into pit road, Saturn, Top, Ron, Nova, Arnioto. Oh, Ward hits the pit wall. He hits the barrels trying to enter pit road.
Oh, no.
It's going to put him all the way to the back, and I don't think anybody sped. I think it was a clean entry from most of the field onto pit road and a clean entry into most of these guys' stalls. Yeah, for sure. Great entry from most of them. It looks like most are going to take 4 tires. Well, Casey's going to win the race off pit road, followed by Arnioto, Tubop, Ancient. All the leaders took 4 tires, so they're going to sink to the back. One beat Saturn, and Saturn beat Top.
Well, Casey's going to filter up to the front now.
Well, to the front of those pits, but some people did stay out, NPC and Buck. I don't know if they were lap cars, but they are still out. No, I think they were lappers, or at least... I'm not sure. I think NPC is a lapper. Yeah, well. Yeah, NPC is a lap car, and so is Buck. So that means, yeah, you're right. the lead is going to be handed over to Casey, who took 2 tires, I believe, to win that race off pit road, followed by Ancient and Arnioto.
Well, let's see if those older tires can prevail against some of these guys at the back who took fresh tires.
That's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be a whole mix of tires. I mean, I haven't watched a lot of racing on the restarts. I'm assuming they're going 3, 4 wide into these corners, just utilizing all the lanes necessary. Racing. Oh, for sure. And we're going to see a lot of that. It's going to be especially cool with the tire discrepancies between the front and the back, and everyone trying in the back trying to surge their way through using every line available. This is going to be some incredible racing, and they're going to go green this time, led by that number 16 BYU Chevrolet Camaro, or Chevrolet Impala.
There you see right there, Juan is in 5th. Most laps led today for that number 75 car. He's battled Top, he's battled Saturn, but about to go green flag racing here at the front of this field. Casey will lead him in green flag here at California.
Already fanning out, Ancient Rain looking to the outside. Arnioto's gonna peek to the bottom, 3 wide for the lead.
Oh!
Casey walls Ancient, and here comes Juan through the bottom, up to the lead, passes that 48 of Arnioto, and the 75 back out front at Auto Club.
So now let's see if Arnioto feels the pressure from behind. That 75, he pit for tires, and maybe Arnioto did as well. As a little bit of contact right there, got on that left rear quarter panel, as now that number 48. He was pretty fast early on in this race, but had a couple issues. Spun out, hit a wall fling, and now because of that, had to battle his way through the field, but he's back out front with Juan on his inside.
A beautiful crossover move right there from Juan. He breaks early into corner entry to get that really good run off the corner. Now he's still side by side with Arnioto. Further in the back, you have Tubopt in 3rd, who's just been waiting in the wings to make a move. He's going to have a big run off turn 4. Where's he going to go? It looks like he's going to try to go bottom, but a run really coming to that 48. Juan and Arnioto are still dead even into 1.
Side by side, that Ford and the Chevrolet. Arnioto led the most laps at Daytona 2 weekends ago, and now he gets back out front. And now Tubob looking to the inside of Juan, but just not quite there to make the move.
Yeah, Juan with a big block into turn 3. He covered that inside. Tubob got tight, went all the way up the track. That's going to allow Saturn and Nova to make some position, but there's contact. Tubopt and Nova, a little bit of a door by that green number 78. Now he's going to look to the bottom of Tubopt for 4th and maybe challenge Saturn for 3rd.
And I would like to mention that making contact with the wall, making contact with the tires, you might see some smoke coming off the tires every single time that happens. That loses a little bit of those tire percentages. So your tires are going to get worse, and because of that, you're not going to be able to stretch it on tires. You're not going to be able to make it as long, so that could ruin your pit strategy. So racing clean really is the way to go here.
Further in the back, 2 by 2, it's Nova and Top. The 17 was way in the back, did not have a great restart, but now he's piloting his way back up to the front. He was 3rd at the time of the yellow, just got by that 78, and he's going to set his sights on Saturn, who honestly, I'm surprised Saturn hasn't been more dominant today. I thought for sure he would be the car to beat. He's looked fast, but he hasn't looked unstoppable.
Yeah, pole sitter today, Saturn, I mean, you know, I feel like he just had a bad start to the day and kind of got stuck at the back, had to make his way through the field after pitting early, but it kind of paid off for him. But now he's got to find his way around Juan and Arnioto, and yeah, Saturn did come in to take tires, but it could have been 2 tires, could have been 4 tires. I think it was 4, but I mean, once again, you know, these tires at Auto Club especially, they drain.
Ooh, in the back, 3 wide, Ron went way up the track and hit Nova. That 78 Toyota is sinking like a rock. I'm not sure why. Both Ron and now Ancient Rain have gotten by. Specifically, Ancient now to 5th in the top 5 for, you know, maybe the first time today. I've just been watching his, he's going to get the bumper from Ron. It hasn't seemed like Ancient has a ton of speed today, that number 11, as Ron is going to go to his inside and probably complete this pass into turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, Ancient's had a little bit of speed. I'd say he has borderline top 5 speed today. And, you know, didn't qualify too well, qualified at the back, but I feel like Ancient has a little bit more race pace into this qualifying pace. There's a big difference between qualifying pace and race pace. You can be the fastest car 100%, but you may just be awful in the race. We've seen it so many times. We're probably going to see it multiple times throughout this season as well. And once again, Ancient is just kind of a character of that race pace versus qualifying pace.
Up at the front, Juan has gained a ton of time in Arnioto, and he's going to look to the bottom out of 4. The 75 puts his quarter panel, or his bumper right on the quarter panel of Arnioto. Side by side across the line, Juan now challenging for the lead. Arnioto was able to get away for a little bit, but now the 75 using all the apron he can, all the track available, going to come up and maybe door Arnioto a little bit, but the run still comes to that 48. They're side by side down the back straightaway, going into 3.
They're still side by side, a little bit loose right there in the bottom was that number 75. Will Arnioto be able to get a run because of that? No, that 75 car, Juan, back out to the lead, but Arnioto, the HSI car, he led the most laps at Daytona. He's trying to get greedy. He wants a little bit more today as he looked to the outside. Didn't really have the run that he thought he would, but now he's trying to gain some momentum. Back down the back straightaway he goes.
Another big run for Arnioto. I'm surprised he didn't swing it down low in 1, but he looks like he's going to try it in 3. Big block from the 75. Juan is going to get tight in the corner. Look for Arnioto to have a huge run. I'm surprised the 48 didn't have a bigger run. Juan is going to stay out
someone
front,
in the grass.
It's Saturn. He's lagging. He's sideways. He's going to save it, though. A little bit of lag right there out of Saturn Tuner. Is going to lose a lot of time because of it, but lucky to not have a wrecked race car. But as we were saying, look at Juan, been dominant all day. He's back out front of this race on lap number 59.
Oh, is Arnioto not on the lead lap? 48 and 81 are a lap down. Since when the caution came out, they were a lap down and not Lucky Dog.
Wow,
those two had to stay out on the caution to get their lap back, and they did not. So Arnioto is not battling for the lead right now.
Wow, this is news to me, and this is an interesting decision. I mean, he's hoping for another caution. He wants to stay on the same tires as these leaders. I'm not sure. I think I would have taken that wave around if I'm Arnioto, but are there stages? There are stages.
There are stages.
When does this stage end?
I am not quite sure.
Do you know when the stage
expect there
lengths
to be
are?
stages. Hero, what were the stage lengths? Because I don't think it said it in the Discord event.
Well, we'll figure it out, but Juan out front, and he's really battling Saturn. Yeah, Arnioto, Dam, Tubop, Casey didn't take wave around as they pitted with leaders. Interesting. Okay, well, that's interesting. Arnioto not on the lead lap. Now remember, if Arnioto gets out in front of Juan before this stage ends, he is going to not even have to take the wave around. He'll pit with the normal leaders, or he wouldn't even get the free pass.
Well, actually, there is,
there's
caution just came out. Oh, big crash at the back. Not sure who that was. Believe it might have been Tubop. It was Tubop sliding along with Casey in the grass.
Oh no, caution is out on lap number 62. 81 restarted near the top 3, fell off a little bit during the run.
Well, Arnioto will be on the lead lap now because he is the lucky dog, but those cars behind will probably have to take the wave around.
They will take the wave around, and yeah, as you say, Arnioto's gonna get that lucky dog. That's huge for the 48. I mean, he was contending for the lead. We know he has speed, and now he's really gonna be racing for position, so watch for that 48 car to be a threat when it comes to this battle for the lead. But yeah, they're gonna be pitting soon, most likely again. This would be their, what, 3rd set of tires? 2nd? So, I don't know. They might not pit. It's really going to depend whether you want to save these tires or for the end if you're hoping for a caution or a late run, or you want to use these tires now to get track position and get far out.
Well, let's see if anybody will want to come into pit road. I'd be surprised if they
will.
do. Yeah, okay, well, I was wrong.
Field. It looks like a lot of cars are going to take the wave around. Looks like everybody is going to come down pit road who didn't take the wave around. Juan, Saturn Top, Ron, Ancient, Nova, and NPC all coming down pit road. Looks like everyone was clean into their stalls as well. We'll see who gets out first. Looks like Saturn's taking 2 tires. Same with Juan.
2 tire
same
stop
with
for
Top.
Ancient.
Yeah, it's going to be Juan who wins the race off pit road, followed by Saturn, Top, Ron, Ancient, and Nova, I think in the exact order they came in. So clean stops for most of that top 4 and 5.
I'd like to point out NPC, he has 1.5 tire sets remaining and still half of the race to go. So he's going to have to stretch those tires.
I want to mention Arnioto's like waiting. Arnioto is pitting now. I think he went to take the wave around, but not sure why he did. But Arnioto is down into pit road. He'll be at the back, obviously, because he took that wave around. But the 48 going to come pit for 2 tires and a little bit of fuel.
All right, well then. I mean, not against the rules. Pit road's still open. You just didn't pit with the pack, so
Yeah,
that would put him at the end of the longest line, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but is he going to be on the lead lap because of this? I'm not sure.
I don't know either. You look at the laps right now.
He should be on the lead lap.
Arnioto, let's see, he is on lap 63 while everyone else is on lap 64, so
he's still a lap down. His lap should be changed. Not too sure what's going on there with Arnioto, but it looks like we're going to restart this time, I assume. Yep, Juan still out front. Saturn in second, Top in third, and we saw the chaos. That was that last restart. They were going 3-4 wide. Expect to see that once again. Everybody's on the freshest tires they've had all day.
Well, here we go. That 75 going to lead us to the restart zone. Green flag back in the air as Saturn looks at the outside of that number 75.
Yeah, that 75 did not fire well at all. He's going to get almost taken 3 wide by Top and Saturn. The 29 up the track, challenging for position. He's going to have a run, take it to the quarter panel side by side for the lead. Now Top's going to get a shove from Ron. 2 by 2 at the front. Ancient and Nova in 5th and 6th, but it's all one as Saturn's going to wash up. Look for Top to challenge for a position. No, they stay single file. The 75 remains at the lead.
Will Saturn try to make a move coming into turn number 1? On board with him. See, there's a little bit of a difference right there. Juan gets a little bit loose on that apron, running right along that white line. As now, let's see if Saturn wants to make a move to the inside. He's going to throw a dummy to the outside potentially, and yes, he will try to get to that inside lane, and got a little bit too aggressive, a little bit impatient for that number 29.
That was just a great block by Juan right there. Saturn was not trying to send it in as deep as the 75 was able to. He took a way less shallow line that allowed Juan to play perfect defense. Further in the back, Ron was able to make it by Top briefly for third, but the 17 is going to look back to the inside of that 02. They're still side by side off turn number 2. Right behind them is Ancient, who's able to make his way by NPC and Nova, who sits in 5th.
Side by side right there for third, and a little bit of contact exchange between that 17 and the 02. As down the front straightaway. Let's see if Ron wants to try to make a move to the outside. He did, but into the wall he went. Ancient will take that position. A little bit of contact between the 11 and the 02. As Top exchanging his frustration over the radio.
And we've known Ancient as a driver who turns on late in these races. It takes him a little bit to start to understand the setup, to start to understand how you really drive the car, but we always see him come into, have a lot of speed, be a factor in these races late once they drag on, and he's already challenging up into this top 4, but Ron had a huge run, able to get back to the inside of that number 11. It looks like Diane is going to merge, or what's his name?
Ward.
Ward, looks like Ward is going to merge to the back, and yeah, I want to mention Arnioto. I'm going to look right now. I'm pretty sure he is on this lead lap.
Ancient way up the track right there, running right up against the wall, as now he's going to have Arnioto looking to his inside, and just running right up against the wall like that really is not going to benefit you. You're going to get a run, but it's not going to be like it actually would, unless Hero added a lot more speed on that top side. But up at the front, Juan still pulling away from that number 29. He has brought a great car here to California.
Yeah, no, Ancient just used that top line. He knew he was going to get passed by Ron and NPC temporarily, so he just used that top line to get any resemblance of a run, and it worked as, Ancient side swipes Ron. I'm not sure if he just misjudged it was lag, or he's unhappy with the way the O2 is driving him, but Ancient gonna go way up the track now. It's gonna allow Arnioto, who restarted all the way at the back, to go to the inside of the 11. He's gonna make it a 2-for-1 special. The 48 is gonna slingshot by the 02. Almost temporarily, yes he will. Arnioto now up, back into the top 5.
Yeah, and Ancient and Ron have been running into each other for a couple laps now, and maybe that was just the finishing touch right there. I don't know if Ancient's really going to be happy with him, although Ancient's not really the guy to exchange any sort of payback. Arnioto going to send it down into turn 1. Now NPC looks for the crossover move. A little bit of contact between them. Arnioto almost gets put into the wall.
He does get put into the wall. So he made some contact right there. The 25 drove in with that crossover move. Arnioto gonna probably look to replicate it, but the 25 is gonna park his bumper right in front of that 48 car. Arnioto with the run might look to the inside. NPC blocking as much as he can, but there he goes. Arnioto looking for the position once again into 1. He's gonna run that inside, try and park his bumper right on the 25, but it's not gonna work. NPC crossing him over once again, and it's just a game of who can hold the position the best.
Into turn number 3. The two Chevrolets, as Arnioto not giving much leeway to that 25 on the inside, as NPC got a little bit tight. They make contact off of 4. The 25 gets into the 48, as now they're making more contact down the front straightaway.
Yeah, I don't think Arnioto's very happy. That's 2 laps in a row that he's been put in the wall by that number 25. I don't think there's a lot of pleasure between those two, as now that's going to allow Ancient Rain to challenge up here, the battle for 4th place. We see Juan, Saturn, and Top pulling away, but these 3 are just stuck under a blanket. The 11's going to look all the way to the inside, 3 wide now for the position. The 48's going to look for the crossover, and now Ancient is going to go back into the 4th position.
Side by side for 5th. NPC has a run, going to take the outside line. Arnioto delivering the bumper to the number 11. Ancient and Arnioto been used up all day, and I think Arnioto said, well, if everyone's racing me like that, I'm just going to do the same thing. Used up Ancient coming into turn number 1, and now the battle for 4th is on.
Yeah, Ron has now caught up to these 3 guys for sure, and I think Arnioto, we know, he's a very clean driver, very level-headed. He's not one to usually go out and race someone dirty, but it gets to a point where you're fed up so much, you just kind of have to get through the bump, use the bumper. We know he's faster than all of those cars, as he's already gaining time on top of the hour in 3rd. I just think Arnioto was like, okay, I'm moving you out of the way, goodbye, I'll see you later.
Yeah, Arnioto's one of the cleanest drivers on track. His contact at the back right there between Ward and Casey. They make more contact coming into 3. There's some little bit of dooring action down the backstretch, as not sure if these guys are happy with each other. They're already racing for almost last place. I mean, that's probably just getting in your head at this point. You just want to be up front. There's more contact down the front stretch.
Yeah, more contact, and if you're those guys that, you know, they're probably pretty frustrated with each other. They're not very fast today. They're all the way at the back. They're very far behind the leaders. I think they're probably a little already mentally strained. But yeah, Ron's merging. I don't know what happened, maybe a issue, but he's going to merge right back to where he was, near NPC and Ancient, or behind them, and yeah, he's gonna contact with NPC though while trying to merge. Ancient hit that 25. Remember, those two not happy with each other, as NPC's gonna wash way up the track, and Ancient Rain's gonna shoot to the front, try to get that position. He will succeed. Ancient now into 5th, looking to set his sights to catch up to Arnioto once again.
Side by side on the front stretch, Ancient and NPC. Oh boy, I thought Ron was about to make it 3 wide right there down the front stretch. He might make it 3 wide and 1 and 2 right here. There he goes, trying to get to the inside of Ancient, and now looking for the move on NPC. This is the battle for 5th.
Yeah, the battle for 5th raging on. NPC, it's just, I don't think he's as fast as Ancient or Ron. I think he's kind of holding them up a little bit, as Ron's going to get to the inside of NPC, but Ancient might like look to make it 3 wide. A big block out of that 0-2. That's going to give him the run and give him that 5th position. Now getting by both Ancient and NPC, but the 11's not done yet. He shoots up to the inside, using a little bit of quarter panel on that 0-2. Still holding on. NPC's going to make it 3 wide for 5th. The 25, the 11, and the 0-2 are having an incredible battle with 45 laps to go.
And Ron on that outside, going to get clear and now deliver the bumper to the number 11. This is just causing them to lose more and more time as, into the wall goes Ancient and Ron.
Wow, and here comes NPC with a huge run because of it. They're still all under a blanket. Not one of them is able to get away.
And it starts to get in your head after a bit, you're just like, I just want to pull away. And we've seen it so many times in other leagues. I like to point out some leagues where a lot of times during late race restarts, you are under a blanket. Starts with the T, and I bet Bot knows what I'm talking about. You're always under a blanket there, and it gets so aggravating because you have the speed, but you just keep getting used up every corner, and all you want to do is just pull away, but you just can't do it.
Starts with a T, and it isn't a very good league either. Oh, wait, I didn't say that. Further behind Ron and Ancient here, there's a battle starting. NPC has lost a ton of time, and as I said, I believed he was holding them up because now he's all the way behind that number 16 and the number, I keep forgetting his name.
Ward?
Yeah, Ward.
18.
Behind Ward and Casey, the 18 and the 16. It seems like that 26 is fading, but I want to mention, look up near that third position. Arnioto has slowly reeled the top in. The gap was about probably a couple seconds, maybe a second and a half or two, but now the gap only about 10 car lengths between the 17 and the 48 and shrinking.
Arnioto, your Division II champion last season. That was his first championship ever. Congratulations to him, but yeah, he is gaining a lot of ground on top right now. Top lost a ton of ground down the front straightaway, and Arnioto's closed the gap out a car length away from Top as Top takes the higher exit. Arnioto the lower one as they come down the backstretch.
Also want to mention, up towards the front, Saturn is reeling Juan in. Juan had a huge lead a couple laps ago. Now it's about the same distance between Top and Arnioto as well, as Arnioto has a huge run. Gonna look to the inside, not quite able to get there, only about a car length back of that 17. He might challenge for the lead, or excuse me, for third into turn number 1.
Arnioto, will he try to find a way around Top, or will he try to help him out? Try to get him up to those cars up front. And remember, Arnioto, he had a lot of contact earlier on. And remember, you make contact with the wall, you make contact with another car, your tires are going to go down a little bit. And what Hero told me directly was that every single time you lose a lap, that is going to be detrimental to that 48 if he has another crazy battle like that again.
But now, yeah, look, Arnioto using that speed, using that momentum. He ran the high side on Top, and now he's going to get the lead into 1 and 2, but the 17 not done yet. Takes it to the outside. They're side by side once again down the back straightaway for a brief period of time. The 48, though, looking like he's going to be cleared away from the 17. Arnioto is back onto the podium positions.
And look at the front. Saturn, I feel like he's just slowly starting to catch one. And I feel like this top 4 right now is kind of just the big 4 so far this race. Arnioto has done a solid job. Top's been inside the top 3 all day, and Saturn and Juan have been going at it.
Sorry, Buck blew a tire. He's in the middle of turn 3, right in front of the leaders.
And he's going to get down on the apron.
Throw the yellow. They're going to throw the yellow in response to Buck blowing a tire. A caution is out, and that's going to bunch the field back up as Buck is going to spin down pit road after blowing that tire. And I'm sure most of everybody at the back is very grateful for that incident, but the yellow flag has been presented once again, and if you're Juan and Saturn, you probably are a little upset by that call.
Oh yeah, I mean, he made it down pit road, and you can just put 4 fresh tires on it and then get on with your day. So once again, I feel like it was kind of like that call at Daytona where we had a 1-car spin and the caution came out. So not sure if it was really the best call. I would have tried to wait it out and see if he could have made it into pit road. But once again, you don't want the leaders to get hit by somebody who's got a blown tire.
I think the officials might have gotten just a little trigger happy there, because from what it looked like to me, I mean, Buck was in the middle of turn 3 and 4. I understand why it was thrown, but if they just waited another second, you saw Buck was able to get down out of the way of the leaders. So I understand being safe, but I don't like the call. And I think that we had some great racing, and I think that The restart's going to be exciting, but it would have been fun to see how this turned out with pit stops under green.
Yeah, and we're nearing the end of it. You know, and these guys are probably thinking about what they're going to do with the tires. See Juan say that he's coming into pit road. I think Saturn may have said that. Nope, he is not coming into pit road. So Juan has led the most laps so far today. He has been the dominant car. Saturn is your pole sitter. So I feel like he's kind of matched the speed of Juan, but and slowly reeled him in. I think Saturn's a little bit better on older tires, but I think Juan right now is the best on fresh tires.
Oh, I 100% agree. Juan seems to have a lot of short run speedos. Everybody is going to come down pit road except Buck, who'll take the wave around. This is going to be interesting. This is a big stop. You don't want to miss your stall. You don't want to take the wrong amount of fuel or the wrong amount of tires. And this is going to determine maybe the order of the final restart of the day. Is Tubot pit in the wrong stall, everybody?
Oh, no, that is not good. I mean, maybe if he stole a stall from somebody else, it could be a problem. But if they weren't here, I'm not sure.
No, he just pitted a
way.
blank empty stall. I'm not too sure, but Juan and Saturn are going to win the races off pit road. They took 2 tires. Everybody else took 4. That's a beautiful gamble for Top and Arnioto, who, you know, were 3rd and 4th coming into here, and now they're still going to be 3rd and 4th, regardless of taking more tires than the leaders.
Yeah, that was, I mean, you want to keep the track position. Track position has been important all day long, but now you're going to face a tire disadvantage. That is going to really hinder your chances at winning this thing. And with 35 laps to go, you just got to wonder, can they even make it to the end?
Yeah, I'm confused on why, unless they didn't take 2, unless they took less fuel or something. But with the speed of that stop, I'm sure they had to have taken 2 tires. My question is, how close to 100% are Juan and Saturn? It's got to be, you know, somewhere within the 80 to like 90% range, but even a 10% tire differential is still going to make a massive difference when we go green. I want to see how that 75 and 29 are going to hold up.
Well, 34 laps to go here at California. I think just before we go green, we should probably do our ones to watch, don't you think?
I 100% agree. We'll do the Hyde Mock graphics ones to watch, and I'm going to start this time, and I'm going to absolutely slam my fist to the desk, and I'm going to take Arnioto. And that might seem like a little bit of an underdog pick, but I think he is the fastest car on track when it comes to old tires. He tracked down Top from a massive distance away. I think Saturn's good, but I think Arnioto's a little better.
Well, the green flag is out. Let me get my pick over really quick. I honestly think that Saturn might honestly pull away with the win. Get 2 in a row today. I feel like Saturn just, it's kind of one of those days. You know, Juan's going to be the best car all day, but Saturn has matched his speed. He's matched his tempo. And I believe Saturn, if this run can go on for a long time, he may be able to pass him on older tires.
They're 3 wide behind Arnioto in 3rd. Ancient Rain, oh, he washes up in front of Ron and Top, but the 11 is going to be briefly clear for 4th. And look at Arnioto to the outside. He's going to challenge Saturn for that 2nd position. A big run, and he's going to get the spot. Look at the 48 steamrolling through the field. He sets his sights on the lead.
And remember, 4 fresh tires compared to 2. If a caution comes out, Saturn and them could probably come into pit road, take a gamble, but also you got to remember the tire sets. Arnioto has 1.5, but this because of Saturn only taking 2 tires, he's going to have more tire sets. So if this thing goes into overtime where we have a bunch of late race cautions, he could come into pit road multiple times.
Look at that battle for the 4th position between Ron Ancient and someone we haven't talked about that much all day. It's Ward. He's going to look to the inside of the number 11, driving that 18 Ford Fusion. He's going to try his best to clear for 5th place. Coming into the corner, he's going to have a big send onto the inside of the O2. Now looking for 4th. This is a great late race surge from someone who honestly was counted out before that last yellow.
Now they continue to go side by side for 4th. Saturn applying pressure to Arnioto. Might be making a move right there. Yes, he is. To the inside of that number 48 on worse tires.
You have the D1 and the D2 champions side by side. Absolute cinema right now. This battle for second. Oh! The 48's not clear. Arnioto blocks the 29 onto the apron. He's going to have the run off. I don't think Saturn's going to be quite happy with that move. They're going to be side by side across the line as they're 2 by 2 for this absolute massive battle for 4th.
Yeah, everyone behind these podium guys are under a blanket right now. It's getting crazy, but we stay focused on the battle for 2nd. This is what's going to guarantee a spot, a chance to chase down Juan.
They're 4 wide in the back. Ancient made an aggressive move, and here comes Top. Doors the number 18 into the wall. Goes Ward and Ron, and Top, probably filled with some frustration, is trying to get back up to this lead pack, but he's not going to get a warning for it. Very interesting call by the officials, but Top of the Hour is driving with rage in his fists. Now Ancient looking to the inside of the number 17, challenging for the 4th position. Top is probably punching himself in the gut, saying, I was just in that battle. What happened?
And Ancient made a huge mistake right there coming into turn 3. Checked up way too much. Ron was able to get around him as Top continues to play defense for his 4th position spot. Although Ron, will he try to make an early move coming in turn 1? No, he won't. He's just going to give him the bumper. Push him straight up the track. Couldn't quite get him to move up, though. Top continues to hold on to 4th.
And I think Ron knows that's his driver. Ron owns the team Top is driving for, that being Junior Racing, and I'm sure Ron knows the 17's probably faster, and if they work together, give each other shoves as they're both going to go into the wall, they can probably get close to these leaders, maybe. This is going to be their only chance, and with 26 laps to go, the laps are winding down, and Juan is absolutely running away with this lead.
Oh, Ancient slides up the track, gets into the O2. Here comes Nova looking to the inside. Ancient won't throw the block. Ron looking to the middle. Lost the run, however. It's now Nova trying to get around Ancient. Bad line from that 78. Here comes the O2. Ron gets back around Nova, as now here comes Ward trying to find a way around that 78 car.
Yeah, that was just a terrible send right there from Nova. I think he wanted to get to the inside of Ancient, but he had no chances. Ancient's going to try the same thing on Top. He's going to wash way up the track, lose a lot of speed. It's going to allow Ron to have a huge run on the 11, but Top is not looking as good as he was earlier. It looks like Ancient and Ron are both catching that 17 machine. I don't know if it's a tape difference, a tire difference, but look at Ancient. He gains so much time on the entrance of the corner. He can brake so much later. It allows him to gain a couple of car lengths every single time they enter 1 and 3. We're going to see if the 11 can make a dive bomb move into turn number 1.
Yeah, Ancient kind of dive bombed it in turn 3. Couldn't quite get it to stick, though. And I mean, honestly, in this situation, you're probably not going to be able to catch up even if you get around Top. So I think this is just a battle for position right now. This is essentially the battle for the win between these guys. They don't have a chance to win it, but you may be able to win in 4th.
Ooh, but look at Top, though. He goes way up the track. He had a bad line that allows Ancient to get to the inside. We talked again about Ancient being a late race sweeper. Well, here, that number 11 Toyota is turning up the jets. He's looking to the inside. He washes up, though. That allows Top to get right back in front of Ancient. The 11 tries the crossover, but not quite able to make it stick. Top going to go back to 4th. Ancient relegated to 5th.
I think Ancient right there was trying to do his classic bitch line. Send it into the corner and then just park it right on the nose. He's done that in so many leagues. Sky was one of the people who pioneered it, and Ancient, you know, he's one of the guys who use it a lot. Send it into the corner, get to the inside, brake check on somebody's nose, and then hold the position. It's not a fun move to race against, but I mean, it works.
I've raced with Ancient for years, and there's nothing more infuriating. I've raced with Ancient and Sky. There's nothing more infuriating than Ancient just parking it on the bottom for 15 laps in a row, and you have no chance to get by him. Or Sky, you worked 15 laps to get around Sky, and in one corner, he absolutely sends it to the inside and parks it on the center of the corner. And that's what Ancient was trying to do. Didn't quite work out, but he was still able to get around Top of the Hour, and now Top's under some pressure from Ancient's manufacturer teammate, Nova, in that 78. We haven't talked about him a lot all day. He was runner-up in that D2 championship against Arnioto. Hasn't shown a lot of speed, but now looking to make his way into the top 5.
I feel like Ancient's just kind of a lone wolf right now, though. Doesn't really know, you know, Top, Nova, Ron, a lot of these guys all too well. So he's kind of just on his own right now. Not to mention that, you know, we were going to be his teammates, and then we got this deal sorted out. So Ancient, was going to have a couple teammates to rely on, and now he doesn't. He's just kind of racing on his own right now. No teammates, no help. There's a little bit of contact right there. Top laid the bumpers. Contact to the back. Just NPC and Tubob almost go around.
Yeah, not a great race from Tubob at all. He has not shown any speed, really, as he's all the way in the last position. But yeah, Ancient, he tried to run the bitch line again, but it didn't work. Top had such a big run. He just pushed that 11 up the track, and Ancient's gonna go back to the 6th spot, Top back to 4th, and Nova into the top 5 for maybe the first time today.
And checking up back on your leader, Juan, still leading this race. He has dominated all day long. Saturn is 2 seconds back. Arnioto is 4, and then you go to Top, who is in 4th. I mean, just look at the gap. Just a huge gap between your top 4, and then Top just battling for position. We focused on it for so long, but I mean, not really much going on at the front of the pack. Maybe Juan might blow a tire, something like that. Maybe he's trying to stretch it right now. Who knows? But this battle for 4th has been intense this entire time.
Yeah, it's really seemed like the top 3 have all been able to, just pull away, and the battle for that, 4th, 5th place positions have been absolute cinemas. You can see now it's still a hefty battle between Top, Nova, and Ancient. These are no scrubs. These are 3 very competitive racers here, all racing for position. It kind of shows you the skill and the competition in this league. I mean, you have Saturn a champion, Arnioto a champion, Top a champion, Ancient a champion. Not in this league. Nova, not sure if he's won a championship in this league, but he's gotten pretty damn close. This is an absolute stacked field. Tubob, the 2-time Spotify champion and a 2-time NMCS champion, is in the back. Someone's hard in the wall. It's Casey.
Casey went around down the back straightaway, parked it against the inside wall. And let's see, what will the officials say? He may be merging. Does he have a tire down? He does not. So maybe he's going AFK. I'm not sure. Nova has wrecked, apparently. And there's the caution.
Oh, no. And there is the yellow. That is a lot of drama now. 16 laps to go. It's going to be 15 when they come across the line. Oh my goodness, the caution is out.
All right, they're keeping it green. He's merging.
Well, never mind, he's gonna merge. People probably already lifted. That's an interesting call. Top not happy, Saturn not happy, Nova not happy over the radio. They're gonna stay green with 15 laps to go, and if you are Juan, you are licking your lips. This is exactly what you wanted to see.
Yeah, Juan, he's just hoping that a caution does not come out, and I think there's a car on the apron right there. Not sure who that is. It's
Nova. He's gonna merge. Nova's gonna merge back to where he was in that battle with Top and Ancient.
Well, Ancient just lost a little bit of ground on Top, but Top just smacked the wall right there. So that number 11 is gonna be able to catch up. Gonna look to the outside of that number 17, side by side as they come into turn number 1. Nova's gonna go right up against the wall.
That's smart, though. Nova didn't want to get a penalty, got out of the way of these leaders while he was merging, and now that's where he was, right behind them. A good merge from Nova. He's going to be back into this battle for 4th place between Ancient and Top, but unfortunate right there. Top going to snap. Top is absolutely fuming on the radio, not happy whatsoever with the call to keep the race green.
Yeah, I mean, Top, he just wants a chance to get up there. I mean, he's had a decent bit of speed. I feel like he's just, kind of been battling every single lap. And because of that, it's starting to get into his head. And now he's just driving with rage at this point. He doesn't want to be battling. He wants to hold on to his 4th place spot. He wants to actually try to catch up. But, I mean, Juan has pulled away from everybody. I'm not sure if he'd really have an opportunity to.
Yeah, we know Saturn's fast on this long run, but the gap between the two is over almost 3.5 seconds. I don't know if Saturn, even if he does start to run better lap times, has any time to catch Juan. It has just been an absolute clinic out of that number 75. Whatever package he brought, look what Juan's saying over the radio. Engine.
Oh.
Could he have taken way too much tape and his engine is going to be starting to blow up? I'm not too sure. But I'm going to look at the telemetry on Juan. Yeah, he is feathering the throttle down the straightaway. He could be in big engine trouble. That would be a massive mistake for the most dominant car all day.
Yeah, engine tape is something that is a necessity in these late race runs. And I mean, you take a little bit too much, your engine could be in jeopardy. As you see Juan lifting a lot coming into turn number 3. Did not get on the gas until nearly the middle of the corner. This could be detrimental to the number 75's day.
But the good thing for Juan, he has time to bleed. He's still over 3.5 seconds in gaining on Saturn, so he can waste some time feathering this throttle and lowering those engine temps. He doesn't have to necessarily worry a lot about the gap. He doesn't have anybody to battle with, so he's like off the throttle almost the entire way from the back straightaway into turn 3 and 4. He doesn't get on the throttle until the entry of turn 4, so you can really see how the tape is affecting the number 75.
Yeah, that's 75 of Juan. I mean, you gotta be, if you're the driver right now, you gotta be worried. Once again, he's not on the throttle until the middle of the corner. Maybe that's just how he's been running it all day long. You never know. But he keeps getting on the brakes, then off. On the brakes, then off. And even he's lifting into turn number 3. So, I mean, that could be a telltale sign of that he's needing to save gas even.
Yeah, 100%, and I don't know if he needs to save gas, but he has been feathering the throttle, and look at that. Into corner entry, he is fully off the throttle, and he doesn't get back on the throttle until the middle of the corner. So we're going to see if he can make it to the end with only 8 laps to go. I think he's going to be able to do it. He still has a large gap on Saturn in second, so we're going to see what happens with the number 75.
Well, the question is if Juan ends up blowing a tire, runs out of fuel, or maybe even blows an engine. Can Saturn catch up with that gap? You see it at the top of your screen. About 4 seconds, says 3.7. So he's lost just barely more ground in the past couple of laps, even with Juan saving. And like you said, Juan has time to bleed. So 7 laps to go. If you're Juan, are you worried?
I don't know, and I want to say Saturn looks like he's also feathering a tiny, tiny bit. Not as much nearly as Juan. Maybe he's also dealing with some engine temperatures, but if someone blows an engine, that's going to bring the field back together for another restart. I don't want to jinx it. I'm going to knock on wood that this goes green to the end, but 6 laps to go. I'm not too worried if I'm Juan. You have time to bleed, and obviously the engine temperatures aren't detrimental. He's not full throttle. He's not like half throttle around the entire track, just into these corner entries. So if I'm Juan right now, I'd be taking it easy. Don't want to make any dumb mistakes. Just cool your head and cool that engine.
Yeah, and you know, you got a 4-second lead. If you really have to, you could probably lift down an entire straightaway and be perfectly fine. So you just got to be careful if you're Juan. And you know, he's not lifting down the front stretch right there and then coming in turn number 1. He is. So it could be an engine temp thing, or it could just be how he's been running his line. But I mean, you look at Saturn and he's not really doing that.
Yeah, and Saturn is just getting absolutely gapped, even with Juan potentially saving engine temperatures. 5 laps to go. The gap is over 4 seconds. Then he has an 8-second lead over Arnioto and a 11-second lead over Ancient, who is currently in 5th. I want to mention that battle for 5th kind of broke up a little bit. Ancient was able to pull away from Top and Nova, which is pretty impressive, and now he is sitting in 4th. A great run for that number 11.
NPC might have gotten in a little bit of contact right there. Ron, I maybe tried to sideswipe him. I'm not sure, but they were having some contact, and Ron is slow on the apron down the front stretch right now.
I don't know. He is feathering the throttle a lot. I don't know if he might be trying to merge. I'm not sure, but Ron, yeah, he is very slow on the apron. I'm not too sure. It looks like, I don't know. Does he have a tire down? It doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like his engine's exploding. I don't know what's going on. Could be running out of gas. Yeah, that's a good point as well. Oh, a blown tire. It's Ward on the front straightaway. He makes it to pit road after contact with NPC. Wow, chaos. NPC speeds down pit road, and Ward's able to make it with the blown tire. Ron also pitting. It looks like they're low on fuel.
Well, that was a saving grace right there for Juan. Luckily, Ward was able to make it into pit road, and now 2 laps to go. Juan's just got to hold on for 1 more.
Yeah, or well, really 2 more around. We don't know if he's close on fuel and tires, but we know he did pit on that caution, but it's been all Juan. He has been dominant today. He's down the back straightaway for the penultimate time. If he makes it back to the white flag, the next flag will end the race.
Here he is. Out of turn number 4, facing the white flag this time, down the front straightaway. That number 75, Juan, has had a dominant day, and he just needs 4 more perfect corners.
It has just been amazing for that 75. He finished second last year in the championship, and we didn't know if he'd be able to compete with Saturn and Top once again, and with the new competition, but it's all been Juan as he comes in a 3 and 4 for the final time.
That 75 has looked dominant all day long, has led the most laps, and now, out of turn number 4, Juan, first time this season, he's victorious at Auto Club.
A great showing for that 75, a dominant win. Saturn's gonna come across the line in second, Arnioto in third, but a great performance today from Juan, celebrating over the radio.
I think got fourth.
Yeah, Ancient able to hold on, get fourth.
Where did Top
Looks
go?
like top of the hour, not fifth. It was Nova in fifth.
Oh,
And
Top might have
then
pit on the last lap.
Tubopped in sixth, so it looks like Top might have had to come down pit road.
Did Top pit on the last lap, or
I don't
maybe
know,
he pit
but
on
he
2 to
isn't-
go?
I'm not too sure, but wow. That
Yeah,
was some crazy,
he's
that was
going to
a crazy
finish
end to the
7th.
race. Yeah, that was a crazy end to the race. Some drama and controversy with blown tires and running out of gas, but congratulations to Juan, your winner out in Fontana at the second race of the year. He wasn't very good at Daytona, but he makes it up at the 2-miler.
Yeah, Juan, you know, maybe not the super speedway racer, but boy, he showed that he is one of the best at the intermediates today, and considering that's most of the schedule, it's going to be important for him to get a couple more of these, although different format from last year, I'm pretty sure. I think last year was a full season format. This year it's the chase format.
Yeah, excellent performance right here from Juan. This is going to be a huge boost to his points. Points will be done later tonight, but getting ready to get that flag and burn it down on this front straightaway. And man, that was absolute cinema. That restart, Juan was able to get away like he had done all day, and nobody was going to touch that 75 Kroger Ford. And my lord, he just put on a clinic at the end of that race.
The second win for Ford this season, as well as Juan going to burn it down in the infield grass. See if I can get a photo here.
Yeah, great burnout from that 75. There's no victory lane. It's on the apron, burning it down right in front of that trophy. He'll be able to take home and add to Phantom Motorsports trophy case. Congratulations to Juan. Great burnout.
That wasn't really the best photo.
It's Ford's second win of the season. They go back to back, and this is, I believe, Phantom Motorsports' first race of the year, first race win of the year.
Yeah, first win of the year for Phantom Motorsports, and you got to be happy if you're Juan, starting the season off well, especially the first intermediate of the year. So great showing for that number 75, as like Bot said, victory lane on the apron in the infield. That's a little bit interesting right there. You only see that at Auto Club in Michigan.
Yeah, you actually don't see that every day. That's very interesting, but yeah, here he is on that front straightaway. Yeah, he's pulling in. Still burning it down. He has the flag now, so.
See if I can get a better photo of this.
Probably very happy right now. He's been burning it down for a long time.
Oh, not sure what's going on here. I think Hero's doing something.
Well, we're gonna figure it out, but still, congratulations once again to Juan. And next week, Mar, I am beyond excited.
That is a great photo right there.
Mar, next week, we're at Atlanta Concrete. Oh my goodness. There's a special place in my heart for old Atlanta, and that is going to be absolute cinema next week. Next Sunday, most likely be here or be square. That's going to be exciting. But I don't know if there's gonna be any interviews today. Mar, you got anything else to add?
I'm not sure if there will be, but I mean, pretty solid race if I had to be honest. Definitely a huge step up from Daytona, where we had so many issues, so many things go wrong, and I mean, you know, if there was a little bit less amount of wall flings, it probably would have been better. But Juan's still burning it down right now. I mean,
My lord.
I think he's having a little bit of fun.
I mean, if you want to say cherish every win like it's your first or it's your last, and Juan is doing that to a T.
Yeah, that's 75. Runner-up last season and starting this year off strong. First win of the year, second win of the year for Ford. They are looking solid. And his biggest competition, though, Saturn, finishes second.
And yeah, Saturn most likely gonna hang on to that points lead, but Juan is gonna jump up a lot in the standings. But Mar, I think that's all we got today.
Yeah, that's all we got today for the Stanley Racing Unlimited Series. Thank you all for tuning in. I am Mark Hemi Jr. This is Bot. And we'll see you next weekend for Atlanta. And we'll also be seeing you for Crowning Champions next weekend.
Oh, yeah.
The Xfinity Series.
We'll be streaming on the Mark Hemi Jr. channel this time, so don't you worry.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Remember, SRU, typically Sundays from 2 to 4 o'clock. The Crowning Champions Xfinity Series at 8 o'clock on Saturdays. So make sure to tune into those. This is Mark Hemi Jr. signing off.